Hi, how did you like that 30-second video intro? I've got this thing with the analytics that if you can maintain a viewer's interest for 30 seconds, you might actually keep them for the rest of the video. So I threw something together. It's not going to be a long video because I've got to go somewhere else. So I thought I'd just come down to St. Margaret's Bay. I want to try some monochrome photography. I've got my, let's just take this off here. I've got my kit lens, the 18 to 55, and I've got kind of like a half grad, you can see that, half grad filter. Don't know what setting it is, but I know that if the sky is too bright, then I can turn that filter. What I think I might be able to capture is some wave action, especially if it crashes against the groins. And we've got the White Cliffs, the White Cliffs of St. Margaret's Bay. France is particularly clear this evening. Here's some footage I took with the Sony. So that looks really nice. We've got some seaweed on the, look at all this seaweed, looks amazing. We've got the boats, and I've practically got the place to myself. I think there's a couple up there with their dog, walking their dog, but yeah, just all to myself. So let's set up, see if I can take a few shots. So for this exercise, what I want to do is set the camera settings to monochrome. But what I need to also do is have my camera taking RAW as well as fine JPEG. So what the processing will do is that while I set it as monochrome, the JPEG will be black and white. And so if I think, oh, I wish I'd taken that in colour, I've still got the RAW file that I can use. So first of all, let's get those settings done. So what have I got to do? Set the picture quality. I want the picture, which is going to be the JPEG, into monochrome. I want the image quality to be JPEG and RAW. Normally I shoot in JPEG fine. I'm like, give me the best 20 megabyte file in JPEG, because I can process pretty well using a Affinity Photo without having to do curves and all that kind of stuff with the RAW file. But because I'm doing monochrome and I'm setting the JPEG to be monochrome, if I think, oh, I wish I'd done that in color, at least I can go back to the RAW file. So we'll make sure that's JPEG fine, and I'm going to set it to cloudy. It might give me a hint of yellow, but you know, the thing is, it's going to be black and white, so it doesn't matter, does it? Because I'm on 18 to 55, I'm not zooming in, it's all about just capturing the landscape, trying to get this moody cloud. Oh, it doesn't look too bad in colour, does it? How will that look in black and white? That'll be nice. So my first shot, what are we going to do? Oh, that's looking very moody. Live view straight from the camera, looking rather lovely. Got the waves coming in, and that moody cloud, that's at 18. So this is going to be black and white, isn't it? It's just trial and error. So what shall I do here? We'll get F11 going. So get F11. It just kind of gives me that random depth of field that I like. Speed wise, well, I can go up to 250th of a second. I've got exposure compensation on there, so let's adjust that back down to 0. That's from a previous setting. Always remember to adjust your camera if you've been doing it, using it for some other purpose. Okay, so without exposure compensation. Now the thing is, this lens, my 18 to 55, I'm aware that whenever I take a shot and I kind of obey, if you like, the settings on the camera, I always find it's a tad too dark, so I have to use the exposure compensation to bump it up. But we'll just see what we get. Oh, I better set the ISO, hadn't I, to 100. I suddenly realised I had auto ISO on, and that wanted me to take a picture at ISO 2000. There's hints of rain, but I can also see the blue sky, so let's turn the live view off for a second. So ISO is going to stay at 100 and I've turned it off, so that's all good. So now it says it's too bright and it wants a 10th of a second. F11 please. I'm going to have to put my hood up for a second. I feel like a gangster. The hoodie up. Let's just see what that does. I'll wait for an appropriate wave. Here comes one. And I can see that I need to clean the lens at the front. Oh, we got rain spatterings on it. Epoxy rain. You've not been rainy all morning or all afternoon. And I didn't bring a cloth, so guess what? I'm going to have to use my hoodie. But I'll do the inside of the hoodie. So I now know my settings. It's going to be an 1/8 of a second. I'll keep that down for a second. At F11, I'll just line up the shot and then take the shot. I've still got my 2-second timer thing going. Someone said, turn the noise off. It's all personal preference. I like the noise. It lets me know it's about to take the picture. Does that make it look or sound like I'm less professional? I don't care. I still take a nice picture as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. I'm going to take the speed down to like a second. It's too bright. Half a second. Just take a test shot, see what I think. It's quite fascinating doing it in black and white. I might have to wait a second. I'll be back in a second. Had to wait for a second for the rain to pass. And now I've got the hair. Ignore the hair, alright? So I'm going to try this at 1 second. F20 at 1 second. Let's just bring in the groins at the intro at the foreground. It's using all the right terminology, isn't it? I'm going to put that. It's good using the little grids because I can actually make sure I've got the horizon smack in the middle of the screen, which is what I wanted. Or did I? No, I didn't, because I wanted the sky, didn't I? Which is why I zoomed in at about 40 mil, but hey ho, we'll take the shot. Even my LCD screen is black and white. It's interesting. 1 second, too bright, so I'll use the exposure compensation and drop it down to 0. What am I thinking? Minus 0.7. It's rather nice. I'm going to take it down one more because I wanted the 1 second. My meter was telling me it's just too bright, so the only way to compensate, because I'm at 100 ISO, is to just play with the exposure compensation. 1 second, that gives me enough wave movement. Yeah, it's rather nice. Using the kit lens, not bad. Let's go down closer to the wave, see if I can get some wave action. I feel like the tide is coming in, but it was supposed to go out at, it was supposed to come in at 3 o'clock, but it feels like it's coming in, so I better watch my feet. Was it King Canute? Try and stop the waves. I shall stop the sea. Drop me a comment if it wasn't King Canute, but I think it was. Or was it the Roman emperor? There was a Roman emperor that tried to stop the waves. Can't have been Caligula, could it? Might have been Nero. I will put it on the screen. Oh, great. The tide is coming in. Epoxy thing. It was supposed to be not coming in. I'm gutted. Got my feet wet. Stop it, see? Right, let me show you what I've got going on. Anyway, that's what I've got. I was particularly focusing on the waves here with a touch of the cliff, but it might mean I need a higher speed. Can I make a nice picture out of that? It looks very moody. So what I want is a fast speed, so to catch the wave in motion, make sure we turn it the right way. I can drop the shutter speed. I've got the exposure compensation on again. So many things to change all the time. Right, exposure compensation is 0. If I want 125 seconds, or 1/25 of a second, metering says I need, well, that's the lowest I can go. So I can only get a 50th. That'll do. Just take a test shot. Yeah, looks okay. See, the thing is, I could come out and just do some colour photography. I just wanted to try the black and white, you know? And there'll be another day for colour photography. So, dare I risk going closer to the edge here? So I've got some nice waves coming in here. I'm giving you the live view and it's in black and white because I've set the picture mode to monochrome, haven't I? Film noir. All we need is some detective, don't we? And kind of a body or something. Which is ironic because just over there, Ian Fleming used to live. Oh, I like that. Can you see it going? Can you see the white streams? Back off, water. If I zoom in now, watch this. As the little bubbles and everything. So I think that's a nice shot. Let me go into, yeah, let's do it in portrait. You know what this means? Long exposure. Live view off. So how long can I make it? Nice. 1 second. Let's try a second. I'll wait until the big wave comes in. Here it comes. And as it goes back out, 1 second. Okay, this is where I wish I had my neutral density filter, because then I could have 3, 4, 5 seconds. I'm going to try 2 seconds. It's all experimentation, isn't it? Nice shot, but I didn't wait for the waves. I wasn't concentrating. I'd say 2 or 3 shots here. That's quite nice. Ah, perfect. That was nice. Am I right? Am I right, or am I right, or am I right? What was that from? Groundhog Day, wasn't it? Yeah, watch these waves now. As they draw out, you get all those little streaks of water. Oh, and a big wave coming in. I'm going to get a shot of that in 2 speeds. I'm going to do it with a shutter speed that's slow. But I'm also going to try and capture it really quickly, which means 80th of a second, maybe. I think I might have to focus this. I'm going to lock that focus in so it doesn't adjust. Spend all day just looking at waves. Yeah, that's very nice. So I will do a long exposure of the same thing. I'm not going to wait for a 2 second, I'm just going to set it 1 second. Here we go. That'll do. I'm going to go up there and take a picture of the lobster pot because I've got to get going in a minute. I've got my other thing I've got to be doing tonight, which I won't be videoing. Have a look at these while I go and look at the lobster pot. We can go handheld for this. Have a look. Again, it's in black and white because I've set it to monochrome, but got the lobster pot and the boats. Don't quite like the barriers. There's that boat there. That's a nice shot, isn't it? Black and white. If I move the grad filter, you can see it moving around. Now the ground is dark, the sky is blown out. It's a very clever little bit of lensing, but then it makes the cloud go more defined. So what have I got here? I've got the lobster pots. Mark would love this. He loves this kind of thing, especially when you do it like that. That's better. I'm gonna get it down a little closer. Oh, I feel like it's all arty-farty, but it looks nice in black and white. Let's take a picture of that. The cliff, the boat and the life buoy, all in black and white again. Looks quite nice. Let's move that filter so we can brighten up. 1/50th f7.1. Lovely. And I can do colour photography anytime, you know, any other time. You kind of think, oh, I'm missing out here. But the reality is, we can do photography, we can come back, and what we're doing, I'm going to do this while I'm subject lost. My God, I really need a haircut. I'm going to have to put the hoodie up because it'll make me look, you know, a bit more interesting, although I look more like a monk now, don't I? I could do black and white photography, I could do colour photography, and I could think to myself, I'm missing out here, I should be doing this all in colour. But the exercise for me at this time was, let's do some monochrome photography, and it's being out, it's doing it, being here. And I could do colour photography anytime, can't I, really? Excellent exercise. I don't know how long that video took. I'm watching the ships because there's a bit of activity out to sea there. DFDS, P&O, France in the background. There's another ferry, or is that a cruise liner? Looks like a cruise liner, doesn't it? Oh no, that's the Irish ferries. So 3 ferries. Got a tanker over there. Tell you what, this Sony Cybershot's good for this videoing. And we've got some kind of, is that a trawler? Isn't that amazing? I'm at 720mm with this. Fascinating little camera. That thing is tearing along. And look at that sky. Getting ready for the sunset, which will come down over the cliff. Wow, look at that. I know I've got the camera set to black and white on the DSLR. Oh, look at that, stunning. But I'm going to take a shot. It was just an exercise in doing monochrome photography. I sat indoors and I thought, you know, it'd be good to go out and do that. Set the camera to monochrome. Still using JPEG, just in case I got some nice colours. And that's kind of, you think, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do the photographs, I'm going to make sure that I do this, that and the other. But you get lost in the moment, which is fine. Because in your head, you're still thinking aperture, speed, ISO. It's the triangle, right? And as long as you've got the metering sitting in the middle, regardless of, obviously depth of field plays a part with your f-stops. But if you're working on a landscape, f8 to f16, but f11 being the prime one, all you need to worry about is your ISO and your speed. And if your speed is causing the metering to go left, then increase the speed or decrease the speed. So it's all good stuff. And I think I still, you know, even with the kit lens, I got some good images and I'm quite pleased with that. So I think now that I can see that it's recording, I shall say thanks for watching and bearing with, and I'll see you in another video. If there are any images that I took that I didn't display, you know, while I was doing this, then here's a gallery. Otherwise, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.